blessed today to be with the Honorable Joyce Love, Councilwoman for the 3rd Ward and member here, lifelong member of Metropolitan. And we are so excited to talk about why voting is so important. Remember, early voting begins Saturday, October the 24th through Sunday, November the 1st. Souls to the Polls Sunday for Metropolitan is going to be on October the 25th. And we are asking either that day or that week that you would go and vote early, take a picture of yourself or a video and put it on Facebook, say, I'm a member of Metro and I voted. Okay, this is so critical. This election is so important. And we just want to ask Councilwoman Love some questions, some important questions about voting. Now tell us, what would you say to the person? First of all, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the work that you're doing in the community.
Thank you.
What would you say to a person who says, I'm just one person. Why should I vote? If I vote, it's not going to make a difference. If I don't vote, no one's going to miss it. What would you tell that person?
Well, I would tell the person that it does matter. You could be 1 vote or 2 votes. Numbers is what counts. So if I'm voting and you're voting and each individual vote, we add up to a lot of numbers.
Okay.
So don't think your vote don't count because you're just an individual. It does count.
Okay. You're very active in the community. Talk about some things that you have done and are doing to bring about change in our community.
Well, right now, during the pandemic, we slowed down some. But, you know, last year or early part of this year, some of the things I'm doing in the community is trying to get my seniors, senior services, and to try to get them services where they can use, because we have nothing here in the 3rd Ward for my seniors to do. They're stuck in one building. So right now, I have a proclamation, a resolution that's down at the council, which will be passed soon, that we will have some type of senior services, cooking classes, pottery, sewing classes. That's my first goal. And my second goal is to make sure that my kids have something to do. My young kids and my teenagers have something to do outside of going to school and outside of their homes when they're not in school. So right now we're in the process of exploring a new community center.
Oh, okay, wow.
And it's going to
Excellent.
be the state of the art.
Okay,
And it's not just going to be your average community center.
Okay.
It's going to be a learning process
Okay.
where you can go and not just play
okay, okay.
and not just horse around. It'll be something that it's going to be the state of the art.
Excellent, excellent. Now, according to the New York Times, black women are the Democratic Party's most loyal demographic base, often referred to as the backbone. But motivated black male voters were a crucial distinction between former President Barack Obama's record-setting black turnout in 2008 and in 2012, and the diminished performance of Hillary Clinton in 2016. In 2016, 64% of eligible black women said that they voted, compared to 54% of eligible black men. How do we activate that group and get black men more engaged in voting?
That's a tough one.
Okay.
But I'm going to say, in where I represent the 3rd Ward, I have a lot of men registered to vote and they do go to the polls. I do a lot of absentees because it's true, black men are not really engaged in going to vote. I can get the women to go, but the men. So what I do is, how I engage them is doing the absentee. I go to them. I always tell people I bring the polls to you.
I got
Instead
you.
of you going to the polls, let me bring them to you.
Okay,
So
okay.
they feel more comfortable because they don't, sometimes men just don't feel comfortable going out voting. And I see men come to the poll and they didn't find their name and then they walk away. So I make it easy. I always tell people, let me bring the polls to you. And I do.
Good,
So.
good, okay. Now, women have made great strides in equality. What role do women play in this year's election, and in particular, black women?
What role? Well, far as elected officials?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we play a major role. As far as myself, I'm out there 5 to 6 days a week, especially now that the election is getting closer. And I have a lot of women that I work with that's on board, and we do a lot in the community as far as getting women out, because it affects women just much more than men, because we have, by the women going out to vote, we take care of the kids, and we need proper daycare, proper health insurance. So it's important to us to make sure that we get our women out to vote. And I have a team that I work with, and we do. We engage women. We engage women. We tell them why they should be voting. You know, it's your civic duty. It's, you know, it's your right to vote, and don't let nobody disenfranchise you from voting. It's your right. And that's what I keep telling people. You can't sit back and let people decide what they're going to do for you. You have to decide what you want to do for yourself.
Okay. Any last words on why we need to vote? Anything else you want to say to the community about voting, about and being engaged in the process? Any parting words you want to share?
Well, I would say not voting. I'll say what Nebraska used to say to us a long time ago when I started. Nebraska said, you could either be a part of the problem or part of the solution.
Okay, okay, okay.
And I choose to be part of the solution. And that's why I work as hard as I do in the community. I just say that to people, exercise your right. It's your right. Because when you don't vote, we get disenfranchised. And it not only happens here in the city of Albany, and it don't happen just in New York State, it happens all around the country. And when we get disenfranchised, we lose federal money, federal dollars, state dollars, and come down to local dollars. So my thing is, please, I'm asking the community to go out and vote, vote early, and make your vote count.
Well, thank you so much. And again, October 25th, Souls to the Polls Sunday at Metropolitan. Go out and vote. Say, I'm a member of Metro and I voted. Exercise your right, exercise your duty to go out and vote. Vote your conscience, vote your issues, vote your convictions, but vote.
Right.
Thank you.